Hey guys, if you've ever used one of these Yeti Tundra coolers, you know how awesome they are. They're great quality and really rugged, but you also know how heavy they are, especially when you get them loaded up. They're just kind of a beast. So Rambler Wheels sent me a set of their wheels and handle to evaluate. So I'm going to go through a few features with you, and then I'm going to show you some footage of it rolling over a whole bunch of different surfaces to show you how effective it is. One feature that I think is important to mention is that the whole kit is made in the USA with the exception of the wheels. A few more important features of this kit are that the frame is powder coated. That's not just paint, so it's not going to come off. That's actually powder coated. They're a dual purpose hook. It's part of the mounting, but it also has a lock eye here, so there's no need to buy a lock hook from Yeti. The tires are 8 inches and they're airless, so they're not going to deflate. There's no reason to ever have to inflate them or have a flat or anything like that. And they're made 8 inches for a reason, so that they roll over obstacles better. Smaller tires would get caught on rocks more easily, so it's important that they're this large. Other big feature of this is the 2 axle positions. When it's in the upper position like this, the cooler sits level, and it works on most terrains in the up position. If you think you're going to be in some really rough terrain, or if you want to use it on stairs, you reposition the axle to the lower position. In this upper position, it gives about 1.5 inches of clearance when you're in the use position, when you're towing it. And when the axle's down here, it's roughly 3 inches of clearance, so a lot of ground clearance. I'll show you real quick how this axle swaps positions. It's really easy. All you need to do is swap axle positions is pull a pin on one side, really easy, no tools, and then the wheel will come off. Since we have it off, I'll mention that it has sealed bearings in both sides, so 2 bearings on each wheel. Then you just pull the axle out and swap it into the second position. Stick it back through. Stick the wheel on and then put the pin back in. Really easy. Again, no tools. You can do it multiple times a day if you want to. So when it's in the lower axle position, it raises the cooler off the ground in the rear, so the cooler is not level. This is the Rambler Wheels telescoping handle. They call it the switch grip because it can be 4 different configurations. It can be short like this, and it can be left or right, or you can have it in the long position, which is out here. It has these push button locks, real easy to change. And this is innovative because it's a hard mounted handle, so unlike a rope, this prevents the cooler from rolling into you when you're going downhill. Also, its length and switchable handle make it really comfortable, and it just makes it so you don't hit your heels down here on the cooler when you're rolling it around. This thing's really solid. When it's on here, it feels like it's part of the cooler. It's not flopping around, so nice piece of work. The whole kit is pretty amazing because it does not screw or bolt to the cooler. It's strapped on, so you can take this off anytime and it does not permanently modify the cooler. So I'm not going to do a full installation video because the instructions that come with it are excellent. You can find them in the box obviously with it or on their website, and they also have a great installation video, so I'm not going to duplicate that. What I will tell you is that it takes roughly 10 minutes to install the first time you do it, because you're kind of figuring out the kit at that point. After that, it's easier, and I would recommend that once you get it installed, just roll it around for a while, let it get jostled around, and then re-tighten the straps on the front and the rear. They will stretch just a little bit, and then you'll get it locked in place. Anyway, I want to show you some test footage on a bunch of different types of ground, and I'll show you how well these Rambler wheels work. So I was pretty excited to test these Rambler wheels on stairs because obviously stairs are pretty extreme. As you can see, it really takes it in stride. Going down, it's just no big deal at all. It just bounces right down, real solid, nothing shook loose. Going up obviously requires a little bit more effort. but just comes right along, follows you up. Here you can see the telescoping handle, just kind of slides out. And here I'll be going over some real big flat boulders, but they have gaps between them, so it makes it real rough. And just again handles it with ease, just really easy. Kind of just bounces along behind you, no big deal. You don't get hit in the ankle or anything, just really drama free. Works just exactly like it's supposed to. Here I'm down at the river on some real coarse gravel. It still has no problem on this surface, real easy to pull. In some of these shots, the axle is actually in the low ground clearance mode, and it really had no trouble at all. The only reason I had it in high ground clearance mode was because I was testing on the stairs, so no big deal, just pulls right along really easily. This on just some regular gravel dirt road. Here you can see the amount of ground clearance it has. Really pretty impressive. This is just over some leaves in the woods, no big deal, just takes it in stride. And here is on some sand. These are just the regular tires that come with the kit. They do offer sand tires, but it really handled it easily. If you're going to be in the sand all the time, maybe use the sand tires then, but no big deal. Grass, real easy, no problem. I had a really hard time coming up with any negatives for this kit. The only tiny complaint that I can say I have is that the rear axle rattles just a little bit in the frame, and it's really only noticeable on rough surfaces. On smooth surfaces and pavement, the rattle's not there at all. It's really not a big deal. I can conclude that this kit is really well built and thought out. You know, a Yeti cooler is very rugged, so this kit needs to hold up to that same standard, and in my opinion it does. So I can easily recommend this kit. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, and if you like my videos, please consider subscribing.